Hi, hello, vanakkam, and welcome back to yet another episode on Little's Law YouTube channel. So, in this video, we are going to see about automating or to simplify our process of creating a test data, for example. So, in this example, what I'm going to do, or in this video, what we are going to see is we're going to see the pet store example. So, in most of my videos, you could see I use the pet store as an example for, let me just change the proxy for a second, or else let me just go to, yeah. So in most of my applications or in most of my video, you could see that I'm using the application, the JPEG store application, and every time when I create some users for testing or for showing you a demo, but when I come back after 1 or 2 days, automatically the users which I have created in the register now part, which gets automatically removed, or it gets automatically removed, I think they run some batch ups or something at the back end, so they get removed. So in this video, we're going to see about how I'm going to create a separate video which in where I'm going to create a script which will help me to create the user. So what I'm going to do now is, the first step is I'm going to create one user, and I'm going to record that script, and then I'm going to replay that script with any number of users that we want to create with. I'm going to create a CSV file. Using that, I'm going to parameterize the file so that I can create any number of records which I want. And in case if you are a beginner, or if you are someone who wants to try, or if you want to do test using the Jmeter or through any applications, you can use this Jmeter script in your machine to create the scripts. You don't need to just manually type the user ID, the new password, the repeat password, and everything. So you can just go ahead, run the script. Automatically you get any number of users that you want, and you can start with your testing. So before we move on to the video of how to see or how to create the test data, this is me, Vasant Shanmugam. Please do subscribe to our channel, like, comment your questions and feedback in the comment section. In fact, we have a lot of comments in the videos which I'm going to share you the videos on those questions. Thanks for asking. And with no further ado, let's go to the video. So for me, the first thing is, when I try like, this is what happened. So for one day I just create a user, and then when I come back on the next day, automatically the user they will get deleted from the system. So what we're going to do now is, I'm going to create a script. So for that, let's go to the test plan, and then let me go to the templates, and here I'm going to choose the recording with think time, clicking create, and then I've got the test plan, and under this I have got the HTTPS test script recorder. Let me enable this. So after enabling, I am good to start recording, and then I'm going to test it through my Mozilla Firefox. So here, let me check the proxy to make sure I am on the right proxy. So it's showing manual proxy localhost, and the port number is 8888, which is the same as here. So we are good to start the test, and let's start the testing. And before that, let's check few things. So we are grouping the script into each group in a transaction controller. So anyways, this is not going to be something like where you're going to record any response times or something. This is completely going to be creating the test data. So after creating this, I will share this in my GitHub. So in case if you want, please do feel free to clone this in your machine and you can use it. So first, let's start the recording, and I'm clicking on start. Clicking OK, and now we have got the recording window. The first transaction, and let's open the Firefox, and then the petstore.com. Click on advanced certificate. So in this case, we might need to install the certificate. So let's do the certificate installation, and we'll come back. clicking on stop. Let's go back to the certificate here, the Apache temporary root certificate, and so let's install the certificate, which will be valid for a week again. So current user, next, finish, and anyways, let me again install it for the local machine. This is to make sure I don't make any mistakes in here. Then the trusted root certification authorities, clicking on OK, next, finish, and then the next important thing is I'll have to restart the Jmeter, and this is to make sure that the certificate thing is getting reflected, since most of the times we might do the installation, but we will forget to do a restart. So let me again open the template and we will see whether the certificate has got reflected. Let me close this, and coming back to Jmeter in here, let me open the template with recording with think time and clicking on create. Yes, we are good now. Let me again enable this one and let me click on start and OK. So we are good to start the scripting now, and let's see how does it work. Let's see the certificate thing. So it was valid until 20th April 7:30. So that's the reason we could not use it. So let's try to install it again. So let's go back to install certificates. Next, place the certificate in. Let's install it in all the folders to make sure we are not missing anything. The current user, trusted authorities, then to the same current user, place it in enterprise trust. Then let's try again in the next one, which is the trusted publishers. Okay, let's try our luck. I think it should work now. So let's restart the Jmeter again. Let's open the template of recording with think time. Click on create. Let's enable this, and before that let's close the Firefox and I'll open it again to make sure the cache is getting cleared. So we are good now. Anyways, let me just clear the cache to make sure it's not getting affected. And let's copy the URL. Now we are good to start the test. So let me click on start, clicking OK, and the first transaction. Okay, yes, we got it. So the certificate is working now, and let's check it here. It's under the thread group. Yes, we have got something that has got recorded. And then let's now go back to the second transaction, which is going to be the enter store. Then the third transaction, which is sign in, and then the fourth transaction, which is register now. Let me type the values 1. So this is normally I give for the details. I just don't make it very fancy. I just keep it simple, and that's what the application needs. But in case if you want to create any test data, so make sure that you are using some scripts or some automation to make sure that you complete things very easily and quickly. Let's save the information, and then let's try sign in. So this is again a way to make sure that your test data is working fine. Yeah, so it's working fine, so we are good. And again, we can add an assertion here. So the sixth one is going to be sign out. So with that, we are good. So let's see the script. So let's go back to the script, and here we can see we have recorded the script successfully, and now we are good. So what we'll do now is let's remove the unwanted scripts or unwanted steps from here. So apart from the petstore.com, we can remove all other, I'm removing all other transactions which is not required for our testing or for creating test data. Just check the path, and if it's not required, you can remove it. It's no more required. And here, even if here, you can see they are like the Firefox requests, which is not required for our testing, so we can automatically remove it. Yes, so completely. So this is totally not required, so I'm removing it. Let me just check this one. So this is required, so let's keep it out. And yeah, so again, this is a page where we were entering the details, and this is the page where we are going to parameterize. So we're going to parameterize the username and password, just the username, password, and repeat password, and that's enough. Everything else, otherwise even we can replace them with the parameter that we are going to use. And then let's check the next action. Yes, they were required, and this push.services@mozilla.com is not required, so we can remove it. Let's remove it. And then coming back to the fifth one, again, it's a pet store where we were trying to log in, and we find whether it is a valid response or not. So yes, we are good now. So this is so this activity, like creating a test data or automating this test data, is a kind of a one-time activity which you can use multiple times to create test data in your work. So again, automating, so make sure that you automate something in your process, in your work, so that will actually give a good impression in your project or with your team. And you are trying to save lots of people of lots of work hours. So again, it's saving your time, and it's saving everyone's time, and it will definitely bring you a good image in your team. So that's how I normally do. Like, I make sure that at least once every quarter I make some automations in my team, and with that I save a lot of time. And in fact, I'll just show you what are all the best ways to do some automations. So for now, let's proceed with this one. Okay, and let's save the project. So let me save this with a new name, which is going to be the create test data or create test login. And I'm opening it, and create test login is going to be my script name. Let me save it for now, and we're good. So this next step is we're going to parameterize it, and before that, let's add the csv.config. So let's add it here. Anyways, it's going to be a common thing for the entire script. So let's add the csv.config, and then let us create the parameterization file, which contains the username, password, and repeat password. So same way we're going to, so this is the only thing which you are going to work, except everything else will be taken care by the script. So you can spend some time in creating this test data files. In fact, you don't need to create these many, like just have it as 2. Anyways, you're going to just use the same value everywhere. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is the number of records which I need. So I'm just going to save the same one, bin under Apache Jmeter, and under bin it's going to be create test login, and login data should be fine. So let me change it to CSV file, and for that you'll have to go to all files and save it as CSV. Click save, and you're good now. So let's browse the file and take it now. So it's always advisable to keep the CSV folders or any related folders inside the same folder, so that when you copying it or when you just import or export to some other machines, it will be easy for you to match the dependency or you don't miss anything else. So let's open the CSV file and then the file encoding, and variable names is going to be, let's have it as login. So login is going to be the same name, and then let's come back to the scripts here where we entered the values in the application. So let's replace the value. So it's going to be $login. Let's copy paste it to all other places to make sure we are entering this value for every user when we are creating it. Yes, so we have copied it here, and then when it's coming back to the other screen, so this is the place where we test our login. So we'll paste it here again, and then we are good now. So let us validate the script. So for that, what we're going to do now is let us run the script with one user. So this is again another problem, like when you are running it with multiple threads, we might not be sure that whether we have executed the number of test data which we require. So what I would advise is when you're creating some test data, make sure you are using a single thread. You don't need to create any multiple sessions, or like don't need to worry about correlation part. So this is just going to be simply using the parameterization. So just keep it very simple, because you need to create just the data. You're not going to validate any response times. You're not going to worry about any other performance related aspects. So just what I'm going to do now is I'm going to run it for 9 times, since we have from 2 to 10, sorry. And let us run the script, and we'll have the view results tree to make sure we are validating the response. And in fact, even we can add the response as well. Like for example, we can even validate the response. We don't need to go and check inside it every time. But anyways, let's run the script and let's see. Let's overwrite the existing file and wait in the results tree. Let's go to the response data. Since we have got uniform timer, so it might take some time for us to get the results. So now we have completed our testing. So let's just go through all the steps, not all the steps, but exactly the steps where we wanted to confirm. So here we have got the welcome 2, the user 2, and then when it comes to the 3, yes, we have got the user 3, and then again 4, 5, 6, and then 7. We've got 8, 9, and 10. So this script will definitely help you to create your users. So let me just upload the scripts into the GitHub for you to use it. So let me go to github.com, and here is my repository. So I'm going to create a new repo, which is creating, or just create test data for I'm just going to keep it as create test data. Under the description, I'm going to add it as create test data for performance testing using Jmeter. So just make sure you cannot create this script for any other tools. It's just going to be a JMX script. So let's see, in case in future we'll just create another script for the neoload or for the load runner. We'll just create scripts and I'll just upload it for you. So for now, this is going to be creating test data for performance testing using Jmeter. There's going to be public, and I'm going to create the repository. So here I've created the repo, and let's now import the script in here. And for that, let me, so here so this just following these steps will help us to create the repo and upload the file, or we can push the files in here, or the last option, we can import the code from another repository. So what we're going to do now is so we have created the repository. So now we will upload the file inside the repo. And let's go back to bin, and I think we have this one already. Yeah, we have a git in this. Anyways, let me just go to the folder and see whether I can upload it in here. For that, create test login. Yes. So to do this, we will have to open a command prompt. So let me open the command prompt. And here we have got the command prompt, and let me go inside the folder and check whether I have git installed in it. That's cd, just changing directory, and let me just type git or git version to make sure. So this one, yeah, so we have git ready installed in it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just copy paste these lines in here, which is the first one, which is I'm going to add this as my existing repository, or I'm just going to change the repository. Yes, I have changed it, and now I'm going to branch it. Let me just check. Yeah, and before that, let me just check the status. So the git status will tell me what is the current status of my git in this here. So here we have got a lot of other files which we are not going to upload. We are just going to, so these are in fact the files on the merge, but these changes are not staged for commit. But we are going to just upload one single file. So again, these are deleted and these are modified. So a lot of changes have happened before and after this. So what we are going to do now is, let me take out this folder. So what I'm going to do now is, let me make a copy of this, or so what we will do now is, let's add the files alone what we need. So we need this file, so which first we will add this file. So it's going to be git add create.jmx, and yes, we have added it. And then the next file is git add login data.csv, and yes, we have added it. So let's do a git status now, and we have added these files, just 2 files. So let's commit the action. First commit, which is the normal template one which I normally use. So just it's going to be the first commit. Did not match. Okay. Let me change this one. So let's change the code of it. So for that, let's change it to git commit -m double quotes first commit. And yes, so I have just committed these 2 files. So the next step is going to be pushing the files, and for that we will create the before that, let's check the branch. So it's going to be git branch, then we have got the main. So just make sure that we are uploading the right branch. So let's go back to the branch thing, and then I'm copying this particular branch, which is git push -u origin main. Then let me paste it. So I'm pushing the main branch to the origin. So origin is which we have already set here. So yes, we are uploading or we are pushing the changes to the remote repo. Let's wait for a few more seconds to confirm whether everything is completed. So yes, I have successfully uploaded, pushed. So let me just invest check. So only that's how we can confirm that the code is uploaded. Then yeah, I have made the change. So under bin and under create test login, so we have the files uploaded with the commit message. That's the first commit. So with that, so in case if you need, please do feel free to just fork the project, or you can just clone the file. In case if you want, you can just click on it and you can clone it in your local machine. So in case if you want to add, if you want to improve the script, please feel free to send your pull request. I will just review it and then we'll upload it or we'll merge it to the changes. I believe this video would have been given you a different dimension of how to approach or how to approach the collaboration tool with Jmeter, and I definitely feel happy for you to share this knowledge, please, by asking questions. Thank you so much. Until I meet you in another interesting video, it's bye bye from Vasan Sharma and Little Slaw.